How's it going, everybody? Just stepping on here. It's November 27th, 2024. Um, Holiday week, Thanksgiving week. I just wanted to go over the trade I took earlier today, kind of go over the narrative and, why I actually took the trade. So let me pull up here. So on the 4 hour, you can see that here below we had a lot of low resistance liquidity for the past several days. No real strong displacement up or down. And noticing, we do have, like I said, low resistance liquidity here, but also this is a consolidation, right? So anytime price is moving within certain parameters within a line, a linear move, that's consolidation. A lot of people think it just has to be, price has to go horizontal for consolidation. That's not true. It can be an uptrend, a slight uptrend, a steep uptrend, a downtrend. As long as it's bouncing in between these areas, it's consolidation. So knowing that we had that consolidation's low resistance liquidity, my bias has been, as we hit these peaks, how and when are we going to drop? So what I saw is on the 4 hour, I saw a SMT and a 4 hour order block actually created during Asia and London session. So when I saw that this morning, I knew that we could have a move down, right? Especially with an SMT on the 4 hour. So with that, I actually dropped down to the 1 hour chart, which I actually made here. I already graphed this out. Okay. So here, when we drop down from the 4 hour, so that was my narrative for the 4 hour. And then on the 1 hour, again, we had another SMT on the 1 hour. We were coming out of a daily volume imbalance. Then we formulated here, we actually had an order block. You can see a small little fair value gap, unicorn model. Price moved back up into this area. That was before midnight. And then this was, I think, this was during London session, right? So during that fair value gap, the order block and the volume imbalance, we pushed down a nice displacement below. And coming in today, let me see, we had news at 8:30. So that's what I was waiting to get in because I knew we would have a little bit of volatility coming into that 8:30 hour. So here when we come back down, we're coming up into around 8:30. Again, we formed another order block, a 1 hour order block, a 1 hour fair value gap, and a 1 hour breaker, right? So we pushed up into that area out of the order block breaker. The 1 hour wicked, so it didn't close within any of these three larger PD arrays on the 1 hour. So that was strong confirmation. And then my targets were the relative equal lows down here from the London session, and then another swing, not a swing low, but an actual low from the 1 hour. And I think that was around -4 on standard deviations from this on the 1 minute, I believe. I didn't have that on my charts, but I did look at it when I was in the trade. Normally, knowing that this was a higher time frame trade, and then also here with this low resistance liquidity, and we're kind of slagging a little sluggish here. If we were in the middle of the week, and I would have held some runners, right? Because I think that this will actually continue to go down. If we go here and we look at the actual, right, the midpoint. So right when we get to equilibrium, we've kind of stalled. And we're going into we're in a holiday week, Thanksgiving Friday, not going to be much trading. So knowing that, I kind of just wanted to get my profits and get out. And this was a strong trade. I consider this an A+ setup, right? With, 1 hour fair value gap order block and a breaker with a unicorn model, displacement. I mean, that's almost, I think it's an A++ setup, right? So there was a little bit of consolidation here on the 1 minute. Let me pull up here. So this on the 1 minute, this is where I actually took my trades, right? So again, within this area, the 3 1 hour PD arrays, we also had another SMT. we formulated a inverted fair value gap, which was right at news, right? So we came up, pushed out here, and then, that's when I got into my entry. I thought that would be a great entry with these three PD arrays. And my risk was extremely minimal. I think it was like 11 points. As you can see here, my risk score was like 7.57. So right here, the consolidation, which I kind of knew it would be, I knew the holidays and Thanksgiving. So I just held. I only looked at the 15-minute and 1 hour. Came back down as soon as we, excuse me, as soon as we opened up 9:30, price dropped strong, came down here again where my price targets were here again for the relative equal lows on the 1 hour, and then also the other low for the 1 hour candle, and that's that's where I got out. So that was my trade today. I took probably two other scalps, two or three. Two were close to break even, and one was an extremely small loss. I think out of all three of those, I made like $45. This trade, I'm only trading with 5 micros on a cash account, and this was right around $590. Knowing that, again, it's the holidays, I would have probably, waited till 132 and see a continuation and get into a trade. But with it being the holidays and stuff, I'm not going to take another trade for the rest of the day. But if it were during the week, I would have held a runner and, kind of kept an eye on price action as it continued to go down, and maybe scale out if I got back in on this, swing low here, swing low there. But that, that was pretty much it for today's trade. I think that was a great setup. On the daily, again, we're coming out of here, fair value gap, inverse fair value gap there. So, I would like to see price continue down and take out these lows. But to be honest, on the daily, it's tough to say, right? Because we came up here, we filled in this fair value gap. So again, we're in strong consolidation. For me, it's like taking quicker trades and getting out, as far as like knowing the exact direction where it's going. To be honest, I can't say. I would like to see us, if we're going to come back down, get a strong displacement, move back up, this will turn into, this area here will turn, into, on here weekly to an order block. I'd like to see a change in the state of delivery with a strong displacement with a backup into an order block to see, real movement right here. So that we have strong displacement down. And until we get that, I'm going to be playing it safe and just getting in and out of trades, hitting my TPs, and then reevaluating as we continue throughout the days and weeks moving forward. So that was the only trade for today. I'm going to try to be doing these every time I take a trade, several times a week, a handful of times a week whenever I have time. Feel free to subscribe, and then also on my Twitter. If I'm not able to go in and create these videos with every trade I take, actually give a breakdown and analysis on my Twitter account and a screenshot of what I did, what was the narrative, PD arrays that hit, my take profits, my loss, my narrative for that also. So if I can't do these, check out my Twitter, and I will give you a breakdown with screenshots on that also. And that's at JM Trades also. So I hope you guys have a great holiday, and I'm probably going to be, after today, I'm calling it quits for the rest of this week, and I'll hop back on next week. So you guys have a great holiday, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Take care.